Wednesday show, Wednesday show, Wednesday show. Hello, everybody. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there. It is time for Wednesday, so come pull up a chair. If you want to talk Disney, well, do I have a show for you? Hopefully, you can watch this healthy and that you do not have the flu. Come watch the Wednesday show right now. If you want to know more about me, I'm from the land with the cow. Oh, yeah. Happy Wednesday. Hello. Hola. How's everyone doing out there? You guys doing good? Hopefully, everyone's doing good. You're on a tiny pink couch. Oh, I do not have a tiny pink couch. I have a giant brown couch. I'm not giant, but wow, it's black. It's a black couch, except for the I sit in the one seat all the time, and I'm now looking at it, and that part is all worn off. So that part's brown, and the other parts are black, or like a very dark brown. Huh? I never knew until you guys said that. Uh, I guess I never really paid attention to it. You think the boat won? Let's go to the. Let's go to the. I do. I sit in that same. I sit in the same spot every day. And now lately, I sit where Eric sleeps whenever Eric comes down to visit. Thank you. You were 2.5 hours early though. Technically 3.5 hours because I was born in the Midwest. So we were born in Wisconsin. So I won't fully make that trip around the sun until 8 something in the morning tomorrow, Wisconsin time. Yay. I'm good. We did a crazy challenge today. Super crazy challenge. Let's look at the poll results that we had on Instagram here. Because we did a poll asking people if they thought I was going to hit it or not, or if I beat it or not. Right now, 84% of the people say yes, and 16% of the people say no. So you will see tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10:45 in the morning. I've been editing that video like crazy because those are really difficult videos to edit. I don't think people really realize how tough those are to edit because it's a picture in a picture, and also I try to get it so it's linked up to the exact split second of where it starts. So yeah, tomorrow at 10:45. Make sure you give it a like, give it a comment, share it with a friend or 2 or 5 or 50, because yeah, let's make it go kind of crazy. How long of a run is it from Ticket and Transportation Center to Magic Kingdom? It is 1.7 miles. It's a 1.7 mile run. So as long as the ferry boat stays there for the 10 minutes that it's supposed to stay there, it comes down to a foot race. if you're running, I'm almost positive I'm probably the first person ever to race the ferry boat. I'd be shocked if I found out that some other person out there has been racing these ferry boats. So we'll see. We'll see how well this goes over tomorrow, if I won or not. Hey, Alex was actually the person who helped me film. She got to do the better part of staying on the ferry boat and not running like a ridiculous person. But yeah, you guys will not know if I won or if technically Alex won until tomorrow. So, but Alex has been with me. She's been with me for one of the 2 monorail races. She was there when I raced the bus over at Fort Wilderness Lodge. She's been with me for both times I've raced the Skyliner. And then we've also done several other, I was going to say birthday challenges because I just saw the person. Thank you. Thank you for the happy early birthday greetings. But yeah, you don't know if Alex won or not. I very easily could have won. 1.7 miles is not that far. So as long as the ferry boat doesn't take a short amount of time, it really is favored towards the runner. So let's get this party started. We're going to start the 657th episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 657th episode of the Wednesday Show. Today is March 23rd, 2022. That's the first time in a long time that I did not have to look at the date because tomorrow's my birthday, so I knew. I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Tonight we are going to be going through and answering all of your Disney questions. So make sure you start throwing your Disney questions into the comments below, and we will answer any and all questions as we go on. As we go on through here tonight. So make sure you start throwing your questions in the chat room right now, and we will answer any and all questions over the next hour. However, if it is like the previous times, if you guys get more subscribers on here, we will extend the show for a little bit longer tonight as well. And of course, let's get to our news for the week. As always, thank you everyone who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you don't already know, every single Saturday right here on this channel, we do a live broadcast from someplace fun throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. Make sure you join us every single Saturday right here on the From Screen and Theme Facebook page if you're watching on the From Screen and Theme Facebook page. And we're going to be doing live broadcasts every single Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, so make sure you join us for that. Also, as always, tonight's show is sponsored by It's All About the Mouse Travel. Make sure you stop by it'sallaboutthemousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All of their services are absolutely, positively, 100% free. So make sure you book with them for your next Disney vacation. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you've not done so already. All right. So if you guys have never joined us for an Ask the Expert segment in the past, essentially we find an expert, me, and you guys are going to be throwing any and all questions into the comments below. And I will be going through and answering any and all questions as we go through here tonight about anything and everything Disney. Now, as always, if you guys are one of my Patreon pals, I did send a message out on our Patreon pal page. That's a lot of P's. Earlier tonight, saying that they would be the first people as usual, to have their questions answered. So let's go to their questions, and then we're going to go to the questions that people are now putting into the comments below. So also, if you guys want to have it so your questions are guaranteed to be the first ones, become a Patreon pal. Patreon, it's the way for Brent Dodge. I don't think that's the actual logo for it. Okay, let's get to our questions here. If it loads, all of a sudden, it's not loading. There it goes. It's like, oh, there we go. Okay, let's get to the questions here. Eric wants to know, why do I hate palm trees? Just the side note, I don't hate palm trees. Eric loves palm trees, and he gets mad when I don't post pictures of palm trees every single day on the options. Now, if you guys didn't already know, for the Patreon people, Patreon pals as I call them, the Patreon pals, every single day they vote for whatever picture you guys see on Instagram. So if you ever see my pictures on Instagram, which I'm assuming most people do, but if you ever see those pictures on Instagram, that's one of like 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 or 5 pictures that I take and edit that day, and then they actually choose it. And Eric always wants pictures with palm trees in it, and the last few days I've not had palm tree pictures, so he's upset. Eric also wants to know, have you seen the Tron Cycles testing? Not yet. So the Tron Cycles over at the Tron Light Cycle Run at Magic Kingdom, where the Tron attraction is going to be, that has not actually. Well, they've had a few times where they've pulled the things through the track, but I've not actually seen them actually do this yet. But there have been a few times where they've been out there. I just have not been lucky enough to be at the park when that is going on. So hopefully sometime in the near future, I will be going over to Magic Kingdom again tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow on my birthday. That'd be a great birthday treat, especially if they said, hey, little fella, do you want to come join us and ride the light cycle? And I don't know why else they started talking like John Wayne in The Great Movie Ride. Remember John Wayne in The Great Movie Ride? Where he's like, I would be heading that way if I were you. That is, if you want my opinion. Oh, I missed The Great Movie Ride. Great movie. Oh, what a great ride. And then right after that would be, this is Alien. You are aboard the Starship Nostromo with Sigourney Weaver. Anyways, let's go to the next question. Eric's the only Patreon person who sent questions in today. So let's go to the next one. And I see some Patreon people are in the comments right now. So hey, guys, next time you guys can get your questions in early too. It'd be super duper. Which villain do you like better, Madame Medusa or Percival McLeach? Madame Medusa is a great villain. I actually have. I don't think I have a bonus. Oh, I have a bonus one of her. Madame Medusa. These are both characters from the Rescuers and Rescuers Down Under. Madame Medusa is from the Rescuers, and then I also have a Percival McLeach up there from Rescuers Down Under. I like Percival McLeach better. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it was the part as a kid watching her like rip all out her eyelashes. It disturbed me so much that I just didn't like her. I mean, I still like her. I think she's a great villain, but when I saw that, I was always like, "Oh, that's weird. That's creepy," especially when you come from a house of 4 boys. And then Percival McLeach, I think he's just a great villain. The fact that he uses Joanna to pretty much save the day for him, but then spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie since it came out back in 1990, Joanna does not succeed. And our last question is, how is my Skylander doing? Any new wraps? There are no new wraps, unfortunately, for the Skylander right now. The newest one that they've had is the 50th anniversary one. And that one features Mickey, Minnie, and then Chip and Dale on it, which I always find kind of weird. It's Mickey, Minnie, and Chip and Dale. But overall, it is a great wrap. But hopefully they'll have more and more wraps come out in the future. But I don't, who knows? I was kind of surprised when they added a 50th anniversary one. But now I'm kind of like, it'd be shocking if they did. Okay, let's go to our questions in the comments. Again, if you guys are just joining us for our first time ever on the Ask the Expert segment, we will be going through and answering literally every question that you guys send in here, as long as it's not like a duplicate question. So make sure you throw your questions in there, and as long as they're appropriate too, because this is a family episode, not just this episode. Every episode is a family episode. So make sure that they're family friendly and all that other fun stuff. And we're going to be going through and talking about any and all questions that you guys have. Also, before we continue going on and get into your questions, like I said earlier, if we do get more people who are subscribed on YouTube, we will extend our show tonight. So as always, let's take a look and see what our starting number is. Our starting number tonight is 1432. So 1,432 subscribers right now. If we can get to 1,433, we'll extend it by 2 minutes. If we get up to 1,435, we'll extend it by 10 minutes. If we keep on going on and on and on, we'll be partying all the way until my birthday. So let's do this thing. All right, let's go to our first question from the chat room. Have you ever done a glow night at Typhoon Lagoon? Yes, H2O Glow, they should just say H2 Glow, but it's H2O Glow. Night over at Typhoon Lagoon. I've done one. I actually won tickets one time through the Disney Parks blog. They did a special promotion a few years ago where you could submit your name and hopefully get tickets to the preview party for H2O Glow. And I was lucky enough to be one of the winners, along with my friend Alex was also a winner, and also Alex's wife, also my other friend Ashley. The three of us got to go together, along with our friend Brendan. So it was overall a great night. A lot of fun. I don't know if it would be totally worth the price of admission. I think it's cool to go to. I think it's worth doing at least once. Let's say that. You should at least do it one time if you've never done it before, because I just think it's really cool to experience a water park at night. I think that was just a really cool experience that they did for people. In addition to that, it was the very first time that they ever had Forky out. So I was the very first, this is a fun fact, I was legit the very first guest ever to get a picture with Forky from Toy Story 4 during H2O Glow, because it was the preview one. They put him out after the park opened. It was literally just like, it was like a statue of Forky. And when we got into the park, Alex really wanted to have it, so she got a picture of some food that they were doing. I'm not a big food person, so I was like, okay, whatever. I want to meet Forky before anyone else. And I kept on asking all the cast members, like, where's Forky? Where's Forky? Where's Forky? And everyone's like, I don't know. we don't know where he's doing meet and greets. And we were waiting behind a line, and I saw Forky off in the distance, and I sprinted to him. And I was the very first person ever to get a picture with Forky, and I was the first person ever to post a picture on Instagram of me with Forky. So yes, I have done it. I've done the glow nights at Typhoon Lagoon. Like I said, I think it's worth doing at least once. I think it's a lot of fun. I actually think I might have not I might have, I know for a fact I do have a video on here of the H2O glow nights. Past me was doing the same thing future me was doing. And then did I have another one? Oh, and this is just like a H2O glow. Overall, really cool experience to do. If you're contemplating doing it, I do suggest doing it at least once in your life, because I do think it's a unique experience. I personally like Typhoon or Blizzard Beach more than I like Typhoon Lagoon. Not okay, and every time I say this, then people are like, Typhoon Lagoon is better. Typhoon Lagoon is a great park. I love Typhoon Lagoon, but I like Blizzard Beach better because I'm not a sit around and relax doing nothing type of person. I am a let's go keep going and doing tons of things type of person. And Blizzard Beach has more water slides and more things to do than Typhoon Lagoon. So I've always enjoyed Blizzard Beach more because I like doing a lot of the water slides. And I like Summit Plummet. I know a lot of people don't, but I actually personally love Summit Plummet. All right, let's go to our next question. That was a very long answer for our first question there that came out here. Have you gone to any of the Garden Rocks concerts this year? I have not gone to any of them this year. I do make a point of going to at least one every single Flower and Garden Festival. I don't know which one I'm going to go to this year. The problem is I do work every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night, unless it's a race weekend, then I'm off those nights. But because I am always working those nights, I don't typically, or I never really go to Epcot at night. So I usually have to make my way over to Epcot to specifically do those types of things. If you guys saw, I posted a video on YouTube last week, I think it was, of the Colors of the Wind section of the Spaceship Earth for the Beacons of Light. And I went over there specifically to see that Colors of the Wind after going to different parks throughout the day. So, yeah. Okay, let's go to the next question here. Audio animatronics faces get reused in different Disney attractions, which is quite funny. Which doubly used faces are your favorites? Spaceship Earth. Let's just say Spaceship Earth as a whole is probably one of the greatest attractions when it comes to reused audio animatronic faces. And it's so entertaining going on there with someone who doesn't know Spaceship Earth extremely well, because they don't really realize how many reused faces there are until you're on Spaceship Earth and you're like, oh, by the way, like over here is Herbert Hoover, the president. Over here is William Taft, the president. Over here is Teddy Roosevelt, the president. Literally, there are so many presidents that are found on Spaceship Earth. It's kind of insane. When you're on Spaceship Earth, literally, like William Taft is like the advisor for the pharaoh in the Egyptian scene. So like he's not even like the pharaoh. He got downgraded in ancient Egypt from president down to pharaoh assistant. But my favorite one of all time is also on Spaceship Earth. It is inside the Renaissance scene, and that is when you can see John and Patricia from Carousel of Progress. The two of them have their faces are on two of the Renaissance people, and they're sitting there playing away. One of them's playing like a flute, the other one's playing like a old-timey ukulele. I don't think it's a ukulele, but I don't know the actual term of that musical instrument. But that is hands down my favorite one. But there are so many different reused animatronics. I was actually thinking about this the other day as a way to do a future Disney Details episode of going through and just like finding the animatronics from different attractions and going through and showing people the different ways that they've reused them. Because I feel like, show of hands, how many people knew this before we started talking about this, that there was a lot of reused animatronics in the rides? I'm going to get to your, yeah, I knew that, or I didn't know that in a few minutes here, because I'm way up in the comments compared to where you guys are. But I like, for instance, the mayor from Pirates of the Caribbean, Carlos. Come on, Carlos, don't be cheeking. I'm not cheeking. I will not talk. I will not. And then he comes out and he starts spitting out the water. His face is actually the same face as the lady who's blowing out the birthday candles in the Haunted Mansion. So they've used that same mold, that same face, because it's like that blowing feature of like the chief kind of getting puffy, but one is blowing water out and the other one is blowing candles out. So yeah, it happens a lot where you kind of go through and you can see these different characters that are being reused. But I think John and Patricia is probably one of my favorites because it's obviously them, but at the same time, unless you know that it's them, it doesn't make sense to people. And then when you see it, it goes through. The video froze, but audio works. So everyone can still hear me? Hopefully everyone can hear. Maybe, I don't know if it's working or not. Okay, you guys can still hear. Okay, excellent. I'm a palm tree and Brother Bear hater. I don't hate either. I just voted Brother Bear out because it lost to a superior film, and I do like palm trees too. So, and Frozen now. Let it go, let it go. How often do you eat a Chick-fil-A every week? I don't eat that. I maybe once a week, sometimes once every other week. But I don't go to Chick-fil-A as often. I used to go there a lot, but I don't go there as often as I used to. In true Forky fashion, I don't know. What top 3 things are you most excited for on the Disney Wish? Oh, let's talk about the Wish because I am so excited about the Disney Wish. Number 1, I cannot wait to go on the Aqua Mouse. I cannot wait to do an attraction out at sea. I think that's just going to be so exciting. If you guys saw Good Morning America today, actually had one of their reporters out in Germany on the ship itself, and they said it was the end of the Aqua Mouse, but I don't think it was because it looked like the other poolside that they have on the ship. So I was like, I think you might be wrong here. But I could be wrong because that person was physically on the ship, and maybe that's what they were told. That's part of the Aqua Mouse. But I was looking at it, and I was like, that looks like the typical slide that they've had on all the other Disney ships. So I don't know. That person might be wrong. They might be right. I have no idea. But Aqua Mouse is number 1. I think number 2, which is kind of crazy for me because I'm not a big food person, is the restaurants. Like, I can't wait to go to 1923. I think that sounds like a really cool restaurant. I can't wait to go to the Marvel restaurant. I think that's going to be such a cool, unique experience. And I also can't wait for Arendelle. Like, I think all 3 ships or all 3 restaurants that are found on the ship all seem like very unique restaurants that I'm really excited to check out all 3. And then for my third thing that I'm really excited about is that play area that they haven't really talked about much. They made one announcement about it when I was in line to eat a crepe in the France Pavilion. that's my association with things, is where I first heard about it. And I was in line for that, and I saw it, and I got really excited. And it looks like an interactive play area, but they haven't really gone into too much detail about it. It kind of sounds like instead of doing a sports deck, it's going to be that area instead. So I want to check that out as well. But we'll see. I'm excited just to be on the Wish. Okay, here's the thing with the cruises. I love the cruises. I've got right here is this is the fantasy layout right here. I just absolutely love the cruises. I think the cruises are amazing. And I was thinking about this today. I've been on the Fantasy twice, I've been on the Dream twice, I've been on the Magic twice, and I've been on the Wonder only once. And I kind of feel like I need to get on the Wonder one more time before I get on the Dream. So, before I get on the Wish, because I feel like the Wish is going to feel like it's overpowering the Wonder. And you don't want the Wonder to feel left out. So I'm kind of hoping, I don't know. I need to get on another cruise. I just don't know how. I keep on looking at like the different rates for Florida residents, hoping that maybe I can snag one that also is at the same time when I don't have to be at work. So we will see. Hopefully, just cross your fingers that I can go on a cruise in the next like 3 weeks here. Why did the newspaper boy get turned around and put in a corner on Spaceship Earth? This is an excellent question. Let's talk about the history of the newspaper boy, because there is actually a history about the newspaper boy. So the history of the newspaper boy is the newspaper boy originally was facing towards you way back in the day. Before the 2006, 2007, I'm trying to think of the year that the refurbishment went on. But right around that time, they did a refurbishment. And before that, the newspaper boy faced towards you. And you go, extra, extra, read all about it. And people would like wave at him and be like, oh, look, he's got a face. And then when they did the refurb, they wanted to have it so they expanded some of the previous areas that we had already seen, but they didn't really have as much detail as they wanted to do. For instance, at one point during the attraction, you would go through and you would have it so there was the guy up there and, he'd be explaining math. And he was explaining math to like two people that were just kind of sitting there on the benches. And they decided that they needed to have a few more audimatronics in there that were facing the guy. So the best way that they could do this was actually repurposing some of the audimatronics from the attraction and placing them into a different scene. One of those people is actually the newspaper boy. So if you actually are going on Spaceship Earth and you're going past that scene where the guy's up there and he's explaining mathematics and he's not, he's just kind of, going on and on. There's the audimatronic that's the closest to you, that he's right there on the right-hand side. If you look at his face, he's got a very young face. But then if you look at his hands, he's got the hands of an old man. And that's because they repurposed the hands and they also repurposed the face. So the face is actually the face of the original newspaper boy, while the hands are the hands of a different audimatronic that just wasn't working anymore. So when they did this, they wanted to have it so there was still a newspaper boy, but they weren't really sure what to make him look like. And so he's got a face, but I've heard that it's not the most beautiful face in the world. But his mother loves it, though. My mother still loves my face. At least that's what she told me. And so they faced him away, and he's shouting into the streets at absolutely no one, extra, extra, read all about it. And that is the story of the newspaper boy. Yay. I'm going to get a drink here. Keep on throwing your questions into the comments below. Like I said, we're going to keep on answering all of your Disney questions until 10:30, or if we get more YouTube subscribers, we will go into extra innings and answer more and more questions. And if you guys keep on getting more subscribers into my birthday, we are going to continue this party into my birthday. All right, let's go to our next question here. Happy birthday tomorrow. Thank you, Gary. I can't wait to fall down the slide. I cannot wait to fall down that slide either. That is going to be another thing that I really, really want to do, is fall down that kid's slide that's in the main atrium. The Wonder is my favorite. Show of hands in the comments below. What is your favorite Disney cruise ship? If you've done any of them, even if you've only done one, and that's your favorite because that's the only one you've done, throw it in the chat room. My personal favorite is the Fantasy. My order goes back and forth quite often, but it's usually Fantasy, Magic, or Wonder. Magic and Wonder go back and forth between 2 and 3, and then the Dream is number 4. And that does not mean I don't like the Dream. I love the Dream. Just out of the 4 ships, it is my least favorite. It's like going to the parks and saying that you like one of the parks as number 4. It doesn't mean you don't love that park. You still love that park. You just don't love it as much as the other ones. It's like when my parents say out of their 4 boys, I'm their favorite. They don't say it with their mouths, but they say it with their eyes. Doesn't mean they don't love my other brothers. They just don't love them as much as me. Remember that little newsy guy facing the ride vehicles? Yep. Yeah, he used to face us for years and years and years and years and years. Fantasy is your favorite too. I don't know if it's just because the Fantasy was my first ship ever. And it's really funny because sometimes when I talk to people about my favorite cruise ship and I say it's the Fantasy, and then I say the Dream's like my least favorite, they're like, they're the same ship. There's multiple similarities. There's so many similarities. But between the two of them, Fantasy just... partially because it was the first cruise, Disney cruise that I ever did. And then on top of that, there's just something about the Fantasy that I just love. Plus it's 7 nights, which you can't beat a 7-night cruise. All right, keep on throwing your questions in the comments. Otherwise, we're going to have to end early. We don't want to end early either. So keep on throwing your questions in the comments below, and we will keep on answering. Wonder, only one I have done, it will be the Wish after the cruise. I absolutely have. I have a feeling for me, the Wish will probably be taking over the top spot here. And it's not because new is always better. I don't know. I'm so excited to go on the Wish. I cannot wait to go on the Wish. We'll be on actually. Oh, we'll be getting off the ship 6 months from today. Oh, that's depressing. I'm already dreading something that's 6 months away from happening, and it's just the end of a vacation. I absolutely love doing the Disney cruises, and I cannot wait to do another Disney cruise. I've been working on the Disney Cruise Line book too. That's my next book that I want to release, or that is not that I want to release. That will be the next book that I release. And the problem with doing a book about the Disney Cruise Line is every time I work on it, I just want to be on the cruise. Like I'm just like, oh, I just need to be on the cruise, but I'm not. Is Judy on tonight? I don't know. My parents are taking care of my niece and nephew tonight. They're staying overnight, so I doubt that they're going to be on tonight. Been twice on the Disney Cruise Line. Is that all of our questions? Keep on throwing your questions into the comments below, and we will go through and answer any and all questions. Whether it's history question, whether it's we'll do this while we have questions come in. Let's play a game of show and tell. This is one of the things that I just purchased last week. It's my newest Disney purchase. It is a Funko Pop. It's the 50th anniversary Cinderella Castle, along with the gold Mickey there as well. It's exclusive to Disney World. That's probably better than the reflection shot. But yeah, this was over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I saw it the one day I went to go pick it up, and there was a bunch like people who were just like running after them and grabbing the stuff. And I saw everyone was grabbing two, and then there was like one guy who grabbed two. The last person who grabbed the last two, he had two, and then I saw him like on eBay, and I was like, oh, just let me take it because I want to have it for myself. Oh, people drive me crazy with the eBay shopping sometimes because there's people right next to you that want to buy it. Let them buy it. All right, let's keep on going through our questions here. We don't have any questions. This is actually our last question. So if you guys want to have it so we keep on going on and on and on, keep on throwing questions into the chat room about anything and everything Disney. Where will the home ports for each ship be once the Wish comes out? So right now it sounds like the Fantasy, the Dream, and the Wish will all be coming out of Port Canaveral. The Magic will be going between Port Canaveral, Miami, and then sometimes New Orleans. And then the Wonder will be going back and forth between California and then sometimes, and then Alaska, which it usually does, and then also going to New Orleans, and then every now and then making its way over here as well. So I think that's the problem with the Wonder, why I've only been on once compared to all the other ships, is the Wonder does not spend as much time here as the other ships do. Now, when I did the Magic, I was lucky. The first time I did the Magic, I've done the Magic twice. The first time I did the Magic, I got so lucky. It was the greatest deal of my life. But three of my friends and I went on to the Magic with the cast member rate for my friends. And the cast member rate for my friends was down to like pennies. Like, not pennies, but it was, I think we spent $102 per person for the whole trip. So it was like a $400 and some cruise for 4 people to go on it. And it was the greatest price I've ever seen in my life. And I wish I had more friends so I could take advantage of these deals. Yeah, right now I think it's going to be, so the Magic was going to Port Canaveral a lot more than it has been lately. So I want to go on the Magic again. I want to go on the Wonder again. I want to go on the Fantasy again. I want to go on the Dream again. I just want to be on the cruises all the time. I was talking to my manager the other day about how I want to do a cruise after the Run Disney Race weekend next weekend. And I was like, maybe I can do the Dream Monday to Friday. If somehow I can, I don't know how, maybe there's a way for me to be able to pull off doing the cruise after that race. And I kind of forgot that I mentioned it to her, and she called me up today and she goes, do you want Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off for possibly going on that cruise? I was like, yeah, just in case. If nothing else, I get extra days off, which I'll gladly take as well. It's been 82 years. The book will come. The book will come. It will come. Have you ever visited Walt and Roy's grandparents' town in Lake County? I have not. I have not. There's very few things that I've actually done with Walt and Roy history of visiting locations. Like I've never been to Marceline, Missouri. I've always wanted to go to Marceline, Missouri. Um, I've heard about Walt and Roy's grandparents' town in Lake County, but I've never been. I've heard of I lived in Wisconsin for years, and I often was like, oh, maybe I should go down to Chicago and go to like the birthplace of Walt Disney, and I never did. And so there's a lot of things that I've wanted to do that I just have never done. I just need more time to actually be able to pull it off. But I also work 40 hours a week, and then I do about 40 to 50 hours worth of work on website, videos, pictures, etc., etc., etc. I just need more time. That's all I need. Remember when everything shut down 2 years ago, and everything was, for me, I was like, oh, this is such a great time, because all I ever wanted to do was have time, and all of a sudden I had all the time in the world, and I was like, this is the greatest thing in the world. Except for my birthday. My birthday was miserable because I spent the entire day by myself because I had absolutely no one around at that time. So, but yeah, it was so, like, I appreciate time so much. I try to live pretty much every second of my life and really embrace everything. And that was a lot of people were very upset about the lockdown. I was kind of grateful, with the exception of not being able to go to the parks, but I was grateful because it let me do a lot of things that I never really had time to do before. So yeah, I just need more time to do these things, to go to locations, and I saw someone who I know on Facebook not that long ago posted a picture of them at like Walt's grave site at a cemetery, and I was like, oh, like that'd be cool to go to as well. Oh, there's so much stuff I want to do. Okay, hypothetically, or say Mickey Mouse didn't exist, do you think any other character created by Walt Disney would have taken the mantle and had the culture influence Mickey at? Ooh. Hypothetically, say Mickey Mouse didn't exist, I would say Donald Duck, because Donald Duck actually bypassed Mickey in popularity when he first came around. So I feel like Donald Duck could have been the big star. Let's talk a little bit about Donald Duck history. So Donald Duck first debuted back in June of 1934, and he essentially became a huge hit. He first debuted in The Wise Little Hen. Fun fact, he actually debuted in color before Mickey debuted in color. Mickey would debut in color just a little while later. Ironically, in cartoon with Donald Duck. And that was the band concert. So Donald Duck started to gain more and more popularity. And up to that point, Mickey had been in like 40-ish, 30 to 40-ish short cartoons. And quickly, Donald Duck caught up to him, and Donald Duck started to surpass him. So when it came to 1940s Fantasia, originally they had three different plans they originally had two different plans for the character of the Sorcerer's Apprentice before they would actually get to Mickey Mouse himself, which is impossible. Like it's so difficult to imagine anyone besides Mickey Mouse being in that role. But originally they figured Dopey became so popular in Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, we should have it so Dopey is the Sorcerer's Apprentice. So if you ever look at Mickey's robes, the red robes in there, it is the exact same robe style and movement and everything else like that as Dopey's robe movement in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because originally it was going to be Dopey in those shoes. Then they said, you know what? We should have it so it's one of our extremely popular characters. We should have Donald Duck. Donald Duck is blowing up right now. We should have it so Donald Duck is in his first feature-length animated film, which unless he was in Snow White, it would have to be. So they then moved the role over to Donald Duck, and they started to play around with the idea of Donald Duck being in there. And then they said, well, you know what? We need to have it so Mickey Mouse makes a comeback, because right now Donald Duck is overcoming Mickey Mouse in every way, shape, and form. So we need to have it so Donald Duck becomes, or Mickey Mouse takes that role on and kind of is launched back into the starring role. And so Mickey Mouse took over the role of the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and the rest is history. If it was not for that, I kind of feel like Donald Duck would have became the big star. I don't think Walt would have ever allowed him to have the massive superstardom that he was heading towards because of Mickey. He wanted to have Mickey have that role or that high praises compared to the other characters. But I feel like if Mickey Mouse wasn't around, Donald Duck would have done the job. That's my short answer. Here's my short answer. I could have gone on and on and on and on. People are like, you were going on and on and on. When is the Finding Nemo show coming back? They have not had a specific date yet put with it. Finding Nemo, the musical, will be going through some transformations. It is still going to be Finding Nemo, the musical, but it's also going to have different scenes, different sets, a lot of different things. They're also going to be incorporating things from Finding Dory, is what the one announcement was, but I haven't heard anything else about that since the first announcement about it. So hopefully it's going to be back soon. I do miss Finding Nemo, the musical. I just miss going to the parks and having those people eaters, if you will, where they take about 1,000 people away from the rest of the park for half an hour to do the shows. I always love those types of shows like Indiana Jones, Frozen, Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Those shows are always great because they literally like clear out parts of the park because people are there watching the show instead of out doing other things. So I want to see it back for that reason, but I also want to see it back because I genuinely really enjoyed this show. Marceline was amazing. We have to get you there. I need to get there at some point, hopefully soon. Oh, well, if you guys watch my YouTube videos, this is the thing. I actually had someone who asked me the other day. They said, well, watching YouTube's not going to get you any money. No, it's about every other view gets me about a penny, which does not sound like a lot. But if I get 100 views in a day, which I get more than that, but if I get 100 views in a day, that's 50 cents. So just keep on, 50 cents, 200 views in a day is $1, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every view really does help. I cannot even stress how much I've talked about this with several people in the past where they're like, oh, like I was trying to convince people at work the other day to get like their siblings to subscribe to me on YouTube. They're like, well, just one subscriber. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, one subscriber is huge. Like that's a huge thing for me. I do, like, I'm on that app all the time, and I recognize every time that we do get a new subscriber. But yeah, all the money that's coming from YouTube and Patreon stuff, that is going towards life, but it's also going towards new camera equipment, trips revolving around Disney, cruises, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, keep on watching the videos, and then hopefully we can get enough money to go to Marceline, Missouri. We should do like a group trip there. That'd be cool. My friend went there not that long ago. He was moving from California to Tennessee, and he called me from Marceline, Missouri. He's like, "Oh, I'm in the barn here," and he's signing his name, and he took a picture, and he's like, "If you ever come here, like, this is my name. You have to find it." And I was like, oh, "I just want to go there so bad." What do you think are the top 3 myths surrounding the parks that people believe but are not true? Ooh, that's a good one. And that, as soon as you say that, all myths have like gone out of my head. The only one I can think of off the top of my head, even though I know there's hundreds, but the one that I can think of off the top of my head is the idea of Walt Disney being frozen inside the castle. Not true at all. I have been in literally every part of the castle except for the very tip top. I've been outside on the balconies before when I was on my college program. My manager knew the people and he let us go up there. So I've been there. I was in the castle suite before it was the castle suite. I've been in the castle suite after it became the castle suite, and I've been in the break rooms up there. I've been in the kitchen up there for I've been everywhere up there. And I can verify that it's not true. Walt Disney's head is nowhere found around inside of the park. Unless some guy's like, hey guys, look at this. I'm hanging out with Walt Disney today. I'm trying to think of the other myths. other myths that are at Disney. Because there's so many, but I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on this one right now. And there's things that people tell me all the time. Did you know this about Disney? Like, that's not true. I know a few people who are like huge conspiracy theorists when it comes to like Disney stuff, and they will send me things, be like, "Did you know this?" I'm like, "That's not true." Like, trust me, I know it's not true. I'm drawing a blank. So if you guys can think of any conspiracy theories or myths or whatever, throw them in the comments, and I will verify or deny them the best that I can. Did they ever have an Orange Bird character meet and greet in the parks back in the day? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Hold on for a second. We're gonna get you guys some stuff here if I can get it out. Nope, it's in too tight of a spot that I don't want to ruin anything. So I have a 1980 park map from Walt Disney World, and in that 1980 park map, they actually do show the Orange Bird doing meet and greets on there. So the Orange Bird did do meet and greets for. He wasn't doing meet and greets on opening day or the opening year for that matter, but he started doing meet and greets. I want to say it was in 1972. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was 1972. And he continued to do meet and greets until about 1980, 1981, and that's when the contract with the citrus growers was done. And when that contract was over, the Orange Bird was not allowed to be used actually anymore inside the park until 2012. Yes, 2012, when all of a sudden they decided to bring him back because they technically owned him again at that point. So, fun story. Let's do a fun story about the Orange Bird because you brought up the Orange Bird. So, if you've ever been over to Sunshine Tree Terrace, there is a little orange bird in the Sunshine Tree. There's a little figurine of him back on the back shelf. When they started to go through and decided to bring back the idea that the Orange Bird was going to be inside the parks again, and at that point, by the way, Dole Whip and Citrus Swirl kept on switching places. So one day you would have it so Sunshine. Did I say Sunshine Seasons earlier? That's at Epcot. Sunshine Tree Terrace was at one spot, and then Aloha Isle was at the other, and then they swapped spots, and they swapped back, and they swapped back, and then they swapped back, and they kept on switching. It's confusing. But the Orange Bird that's on the back shelf was actually lost for years and years and years. And one day the Imagineers were talking about how it'd be really cool if they could bring the Orange Bird back. And one person's like, "Oh, I know where that's at. It's like in this bottom drawer." And sure enough, it was like the statue itself from the 1970s was in the bottom drawer of some guy's desk. And so the Orange Bird that you can actually find up on that shelf is the same exact Orange Bird that you can find or that you could have found back in the 1970s and just, refurbished and painted up a little bit and all that other fun stuff. So yeah, the Orange Bird did have a meet and greet at one point, but not anymore. It'd be cool to see the Orange Bird back. There was during the marathon weekend this past January, so 2 months ago, one of my friends is a lot faster than me, and he doesn't stop for characters. So our understanding is, well, not our understanding, I'd make him do it. But I always tell him, hey, whenever you pass a character, can you send me a text message and say, hey, the next character is whoever. And I was in line for a character during the half marathon 10K. During the 10K, I was in line for a character inside of Studios. He was on the boardwalk, and he wrote to me and said, hey, the Orange Bird's on the boardwalk. I freaked out. I was like, oh, what? And I was like, are you kidding me? And I lost my mind. Like, I legit lost my mind. I was so excited. I was moving so much faster. And then when I got to the next character spot, I looked at my text messages to see if he updated me on any more characters. And he sent me a thing that said, not the character, just the statue. And I was like, oh, I've seen this statue before. I don't want to see the statue. I want to actually meet the Orange Bird. Because the Orange Bird statue, which is like a bigger statue, not the one that's found up on the shelf, but they have a bigger statue of him. He comes out for almost every single race weekend. So to me, it's like, I've seen him hundreds of times. Still excited to see the orange bird, but I want to meet the orange bird. I want to actually have a meet and greet character with the orange bird, and I can be like, hey. That's all I'd say to him, because I don't know what else I would say to the orange bird. Okay, regarding comment about Mickey's, yes, Oswald. If Universal didn't steal Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, we definitely would have had Oswald the Lucky Rabbit would have been the spokesperson of the company. But thanks to our friends over at Universal, they ruined everything. Miggy's first words, hot dogs. That's special to me because once upon a time, I owned a hot dog stand and a lunch counter that featured hot dogs. That's really cool. Do you know the name of the short cartoon that Mickey said hot dogs at? Hot dogs. It's the first thing he says in the short cartoon. It's from the cartoon The Carnival Kid. That's why it's important to watch, like, and comment. Exactly. I'm so far ahead of you guys right now. I hope one day soon you get 100,000 subscribers. I would love. I'm excited for 1,500 subscribers. My ultimate goal. I would freak out if I hit 100,000. I would be using my money that I made on my YouTube channel to like fly people to do a cruise with me or something. If I hit 100,000. Now, if I ever hit 100,000, someone's gonna be like, you promised us a cruise back on March 23rd, 2022. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Did you see Bernard and Miss Bianca were doing meet and greets at Disneyland for Sweethearts Night last night? That would have been such a great meet and greet. I did see that. Oh, so Bernard and Bianca are the two characters that I would love to meet more than any other character. Those are at the top of my list. It used to be Scrooge McDuck, but then I met Scrooge McDuck in 2009. And then I was like, okay, I've met Scrooge. Now I need to meet Bernard and Bianca. Those are at the top of my list. When I went out to Disneyland Paris back in like 6 years ago, when I went out there were people who told me, they're like, oh, you can meet Huey, Dewey, and Louie, which has always been at the top of my list too. And I remember getting there to the park, and I found a character person who was with Donald Duck. I was like, when do Huey, Dewey, and Louie come out? They're like, Huey, Dewey, and Louie don't come out. I'm like, no, I know they can come out because they used to be part of the Magical Express video. So I know that they're like here. I just want to meet Huey, Dewey, Louie, and I want to meet Bernard and Bianca. And if I can meet those five at some point in my life, I'm going to be happy. But yeah, Bernard and Bianca, I would give anything. That would be the line that I would be willing to wait hours in to finally say that I've met Bernard and Bianca. Myth, Pirate's Ghost. I actually believe that one. I've known enough people who've worked Pirates of the Caribbean throughout the years that I've personally seen the procedures that they have to do for clock in and clock out. And on there, the first thing they do have to say every day is good morning, George. And the last thing they have to say is good night, George. And people have said, the cast members have said that if they don't say good morning, George, they have more problems that day. And one of my neighbors, when I did my college program, my next door neighbor worked Pirates of the Caribbean. He was telling us all about it. And then I got a backstage tour of Pirates of the Caribbean when I was on my college program, where I got to see like the list of things that they got to do in the morning of the close. And they were like, we didn't say good morning, George, this morning. And they're like, we've been having so many technical problems. And my friend Lindsay and I, hi Lindsay, and she's probably not watching, but she's got like a cajillion kids. Lindsay and I went on there, and she's like, if we just start yelling George, hey George, George, George. So we started yelling George, and it was like the first time in my life where I was like, oh, ghosts are real. No one else in the boat got wet. We got soaking wet, and we weren't even by the cannonball scene. Like, it was right before the cannonball scene and right after the drop, but before you actually get to the cannonballs, we had like this. It was crazy. It's like one of the things that myth. It's a turkey leg. It is an emu leg. It is an emu leg. I knew one of the managers who has worked that booth, and also one of the girls I used to work with. She just finished working over at the turkey leg cart at Liberty Square, and both of them have verified to me before that it's an emu leg and not a turkey leg. Walt's head in the graveyard scene at Haunted Mansion. That is definitely not him. That is Thurl Ravenscroft. Thurl Ravenscroft and the Mellow Men, who are the actual people who are singing there. Not Walt Disney. Not Walt Disney. Keys to the Kingdom Tour, they told us the theory that Walt was building an apartment in Cinderella Castles was false. That one is not false. That is actually true. I actually one time was talking to someone about the Keys to the Kingdom Tour, and they had a few different things that were the Keys to the Kingdom Tour. There's sometimes, and I know a few people who've done the tour or who've like done the tour, like they are the guides, who have said yes, there's sometimes where we have to give false information, mainly due to the fact that we forget what we're doing. Like we forget to say something. I was up at the Castle Suite before it became the Castle Suite, and there was a sign on the door that said the Walt Disney Family Suite. But it was also confirmed by Roy Disney himself back in the construction. It's in one of the books that I have somewhere around here from the construction of Walt Disney World, where it actually says in there. And Walt and Roy were planning to have an apartment up there for both of them to bring their families. So yeah, there's been, yeah. Is it true that they always have to say goodnight to the ghost and pirate? Yeah, we just said that. Yay. I thought it was the real skull in the pirate's chair. There is a real skull on Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland. It's on top of the bedpost. When they first started building that attraction, they actually asked some local people who had donated their bodies to they asked places where people donate their bodies to science, and they asked if they could actually use real human bones. And there were a lot of human bones. And as the years have gone by, they got rid of a lot of the human bones, but there is still one actual human skull, and that is on Pirates of the Caribbean. How cool would it be to be that dead dude? You get to spend your eternity on Pirates of the Caribbean. That would be really cool. I'm not as good looking as Kurt Russell. Get out of here. Carnival Kid. I want an unobstructed balcony room on the ship. Then the Royal Disney Suite is the suite for you. I stayed concierge level. Where at that? I literally just had that up here. There was one time I stayed in the room next to the suite. Let's see, where's the suite at? Right up here. Okay. This is going to be really tough to see. But the one that's in the middle with all the green, that top green part, it's kind of tough to see with the lines, but there's actually 3 lines right there. Or there's 2 lines separating it. There's one small room, and then the small rooms in between the 2 big rooms. One big room is the Walt Disney Suite. The other one's the Royal Disney Suite. And I was sitting there in the room next to it. I was in concierge level one time, and one time only. Long story on how I got there. I'm not going to go into it today. But I could go on my balcony, and I could look out at like the other balcony, and it was massive. It was like oh my gosh. It was crazy. You above anyone else deserve 100,000. You have so much knowledge, need to find the right strategy to hit it. You're my favorite. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Thank you. So who's George, do you think? I actually know exactly who George is because my friend Lindsay that I was talking about, who told me about yelling out George, her uncle was actually one of the construction workers for Pirates of the Caribbean, and she was there the day that George died. So George was actually a construction worker who actually died during the construction of Pirates of the Caribbean. Something fell on him, and he died immediately inside of where the attraction would eventually be. And they just say that his ghost still haunts there to this day. So I would do the same thing. If I died in the Disney park, I'd be there haunting people to this day as well. Yeah. Someone was trying to tell people that the brown path in Liberty Square wasn't the river of poop. That is 100% true, or it's 100% true that it is a river of poop and not anything else, as someone read in the 2014 book. A closer look at the Magic Kingdom's Liberty Square. Where? Because that's going to be Oh, that's Fantasyland. I was like, I don't see it anywhere in here. It should be towards the end. Sewage. What does a... I forgot about this line. I think this is one of the best transition lines I've ever written in a book. What does a farm, a minefield, and Liberty Square all have in common? The phrase, watch where you're stepping, of course. What am I talking about exactly? Well, to sum it up, the pavement throughout the land. As you may have noticed, the majority of Liberty Square features the standard-looking red pavement. However, also scattered throughout the land is a path filled with what appears to be small little stones. These little stones from their own path that travels through the entire land. So what is this exactly? Keeping in mind that Liberty Square is set in the 1700s, there are a few things that one may notice, with the most concerning being a lack of restrooms. Why is that? Well, in the 1700s, there was not such a thing as indoor plumbing, so people used the amazing invention known as the bucket. After doing their deed, they would toss their little gift into the world. This is funny. Good job, Paz Brent. Onto the street where it would meet with other sewage and head down towards a sewer-like system at the bottom of the hill. So the moral of the story is the next time you are in Liberty Square, watch where you are stepping. That is another thing that has been verified multiple times by Disney Imagineers as being something that is actually true. So it is true. And also, if you guys didn't know, the majority, not everything in the books, but the majority of the things that have been in my books have actually been fact-checked by the Walt Disney Archives. Dave Smith he was great. You just send him messages and he'd be like, oh yeah, let me look up that detail for you, make sure it's true. He was one, I know for a fact that he verified that one 100%. Disney can have my bones for pirates. I'll even sign a waiver. I couldn't spend an entire eternity listening to A Pirate's Life for me. I could. I think it'd be cool. I was right when you book our rooms for that cruise, you're taking us on for 100,000 obstructed balcony view. $100,000. Oh, that's where we're taking you guys, is the Royal Disney Suite. Oh man, that'd be cool. Wouldn't that be cool? That'd be so cool. Tell us who George is. I got to that one. I'm just behind in the comments right now. What ride would you want to be on for eternity? People Mover. People Mover would be my number one. Peter Pan's Flight would be number two. And then probably Rise of the Resistance would be number three. Yeah. Maybe Peter Pan might be number one. I love Peter Pan. I love People Mover too, but I just love Peter Pan. If Peter Pan had a shorter wait, I'd be on Peter Pan as often as I'm on the People Mover. When I did my college program, because I worked Fantasyland attraction or Fantasyland custodial, I got to know a lot of the Fantasyland attractions people, and there were so many times on my days off they would just let me go right through the exit. It was the greatest year. and then I got older, and then people were like, "Who's this creepy old man trying to be friends with us?" How do I order your books again right now? If you're watching from Facebook, I can see the little Facebook icon right below there. If you go to the top of the page here, there should be like an order now book or something like that. Yeah, there's an order now or shop now or something like that button on there. Otherwise, if you go to Etsy and you search a closer look at the Magic Kingdom, I think it's number one that pops up. Or I think you can search Brent Dodge and it pops up too. Read Brent books and you'll know that's right. Poop from President Hall. Okay, so let's go through. Let's see if we got any new subscribers. I'll let you guys, if you guys want, we've already gone to little extra innings, but if you guys if someone throws another question in there, I'm not going to complain. I always enjoy answering and talking Disney with everyone. So let's see here. Oh, we went up a subscriber. So we'll stay on for a few more minutes here. But if we keep on going up, it'd be awesome if we could hit 1,500 subscribers on my birthday tomorrow. That would be awesome. We do have a crazy challenge coming out tomorrow too. If you guys weren't there earlier, palm tree photo tomorrow, right? We're gonna have a birthday button one. I was actually just looking at this. This is my birthday button from a few years ago when I was on the cruise for my birthday. I was on the Disney Wonder on my birthday a few years ago. Actually, on Castaway Key, which is really cool. Did they take down a wall at Epcot? I think they might have taken one down today or yesterday. I've not been over there for the last 48 hours. But they were talking about how they're going to get rid of some stuff for Connections, which is going to be the food court that's going to be over there. Happy early birthday. Stick it on a palm shoot. Be amazing. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. I do greatly appreciate those wishes. Stick it on a palm tree. It'll be amazing. All right. Any last questions out there? Unless we get more subscribers, then we're going to stick around for a while. Subscribe, Brent Dodge on YouTube. The only thing that is from Screen of Theme is going to be the Facebook page. Everything else is Brent Dodge. I'll be there Friday. I'll let you know. I think I'm there on Saturday. I think I'm there Saturday. Yeah, it's Brent Dodge on Facebook. I was talking to one of my friends. One of my friends is actually in marketing and social media marketing. And I was talking to her about it not that long ago. And she said that it's a lot better to go through. That's really funny. So, side note, and this is going to make me sound really dorky. I have my YouTube videos playing on my TV, and I can see the reflection through a picture. And it looks like it's last Wednesday's show that's on there right now. And you see me going like this with the subscribers on there. That was the video clip that just went on. So it just made me laugh. But yeah, they told me that it is better actually. Research has shown that if you are on YouTube, it's better to actually use your real name than your company name. It works out better in the long run than having it so it's from Screen of Theme. So that's why we go from Brent Dodge on here. I also have a Brent Dodge Facebook page, which all my Instagram posts are completely connected to immediately. So we have that there as well. But yeah, subscribe to Brent Dodge on YouTube. There is no From Screen. I don't think there's a From Screen of Theme YouTube. Maybe I made one years ago. But I'm 99% positive it's going to be the other. Okay, any other questions out there before we wrap it up? Or let's see, any new subscribers? No new subscribers. Wow, wow, wow. Here we go. How do you feel about the Luau not coming back? I was waiting. I knew someone was going to ask something about Polynesian. I'm pretty bummed about it. Now, I think I may have done it when I was a little kid, but I do not remember the Luau at all. I do not, for the life of me, I cannot think of the Luau. For the life of me, I don't remember what it was like. I don't remember anything about it, and I've always wanted to do it. A few years ago, my friends did it, and I actually babysat their kid while they did it. And then afterwards, they went on and on and on about how much they liked it. I was like, oh, I should go. And they're like, oh, like next time we should go. And then every time they come down, they want to do different restaurants, which I'm fine with too. And then I thought about it about 6 months ago. I was like, oh, like when the Luau opens up, we have to go. Like we have to go. And then also they made that announcement the other day, and I was like, no, why? How could you? So yeah, I'm bummed. I'm more bummed because I don't have a memory of it, and I would like to have a memory of going there. I've walked past there several times because whenever I go to Magic Kingdom, I do usually do the long walk back. And there's been times where I'll take the monorail to the Grand Floridian and I'll walk back and I'll see the Luau going on. So I would love to do the Luau, or I would have loved to do the Luau at some point, but unfortunately they are doing a hotel there instead. Bums me out. It really does. The new, yeah, I do agree with that. The new DVC does look pretty incredible there, but I want to do a Luau. Let's see here. Any last subscribers here to extend our night? Nope, we're still at that 1433. So we are going to wrap up this bad boy right here. As always, tonight's show is sponsored by It's All About the Mouse Travel. Make sure you stop by it'sallaboutthemousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All of their services are absolutely, positively, 100% free. So make sure you book with them for your next Disney vacation. I would like to thank everyone out there for joining us once again this week. Tomorrow, my gift to you for my birthday is the gift of a crazy challenge. So if you guys did not already catch that, we are going to be having a brand new crazy challenge coming out at 10:45 Eastern time tomorrow. So it would mean the world to me. This could be your birthday gift to me. It would mean the world to me if you guys watch it, like it, comment, and share with a friend. Literally, if you do a like, it boosts me up. If you do a comment, it boosts me up even more. And if you share, it actually boosts us up big time. So my goal is to have it so this video kind of blows up tomorrow. Not like in a bad way, but I wanted to have it so it blows up tomorrow. So any help would be greatly appreciated. It is my birthday gift to people. I've always tried to do a crazy challenge on my birthday because I just love doing crazy challenges. And I know a lot of people love watching the crazy challenges. So tomorrow you can watch me race the ferry boat in front of the Magic Kingdom. Try to figure out who can get from the Ticket and Transportation Center to the Magic Kingdom first. It is a crazy, crazy challenge. It is probably one of the most high humidity challenges I've ever done. And yeah, it was kind of an insane day. It was an exhausting day, but it was a lot of fun. I'm still kind of trying to recover. I also had computer issues last night while editing the video for today. And I was up until about 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I got about 3 hours of sleep and then had to go off and do a crazy challenge. So I didn't pull a hammy, but my calf muscle was killing me. And there is one point during the challenge where I say something along the lines of like, oh my gosh, like I didn't drink enough water because I was feeling it. But I slowed down at one point because I was not going to kill myself. But I do finish strong. I will say that. So make sure you check it out tomorrow. It will be out at 10:45 in the morning. And of course, as always, thank you everyone for joining us once again this week. If you have not ordered your copies of A Closer Look Yet, or guess what, A Closer Look Yet, make sure you go stop by the Shop Now button on Facebook if you're up there. Otherwise, go visit the link in my description if you're on YouTube and purchase your copies, and we will send it out as soon as possible. Probably send it out tomorrow on my birthday. So yeah, thank you as always, everyone, for joining us. I hope you all had a fun time here tonight. Remember that anything can happen if you let it. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I just can't